I wanted to talk to you about Palestine versus Israel. And I'm a Jordanian Christian, but I was born in this country. I'm a proud American. But I wanted to know how you can defend our country funding billions of dollars into a foreign government aiding genocide.
Oh, I can already tell this is going to be great because Charlie Kirk got destroyed by this other Christian Palestinian that I had on my channel. He destroyed him. And it's because Charlie Kirk is so biased. He doesn't realize that Christians actually get treated pretty poorly in Israel. And it's reasons like this that I think tools like ground use is extremely important, but I guess more on that later. Let's continue.
So do you mean the money that we send to the Palestinian Authority?
Oh, good one, Charlie. He's just trying to act confused like he doesn't know what she's talking about. Silly, silly, silly.
No, the ones that we sent to the IDF.
Okay, so you know we spend money to the Palestinian Authority as well, right?
How much, Charlie? See, he thinks he's smart by asking these rhetorical questions. We send money to the Palestinian Authority, right? Okay, it's humanitarian aid, and it's a fraction of what we send to Israel. Israel, in terms of arms sales and aids and all of that, we send tens of billions of dollars. The Palestinians, we send millions. For aid, maybe a few billion. And also, last I checked, the Palestinian Authority, which is the West Bank, isn't going around killing Israelis, whereas Israel is destroying kids, children, women in Gaza. So, yeah, our money is going towards killing literally humans when we send it to Israel. Sending money to the Palestinian Authority has not done that.
Um,
Yeah, billions.
okay, how?
We give them cash.
Billions is an exaggeration. I really want to see that. I'm sorry.
We give them, you guys claim to give them care packages and stuff like that, but why are we still defending the IDF?
No, I want to make sure we're morally consistent. So do you agree that we should cut money off to both Israel and the Palestinian Authority?
Yes.
Okay, cut off to both. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So
No, because one, we supply humanitarian aid. The other, we're funding their wars. And they are an independent country. They have a budget surplus. They have a booming economy. One does not need our money, Charlie.
you're from Jordan, and so you know the region very well. If you look at the Palestinian Authority, let's just take Lebanon, okay, versus Israel. Which country is more moral or a better place for people to live?
Wait, what? Okay, first, why is that a question? If it's a foreign land, why are we the ones dictating?
No. You have to get our moral. We have to
Okay.
get our moral symmetry right,
Our
and then
moral
we could
symmetry.
determine foreign aid. Again, in the Middle East, because for whatever reason, a country the size of New Jersey, with half the world's Jews, gets all the attention of campus activists.
Yes.
For whatever reason, I think there's a few reasons. Let's see. They're killing thousands of people, hundreds of thousands of people. We give them our tax money. We don't give other countries our tax money. Yeah, I think those are two pretty big reasons, and there's many more, Charlie.
And so, yet there's civil wars in Africa, the slaughter of Druze in Syria, from the annexation of Armenia from Azerbaijan, gets no campus energy. So I just want to understand, just so we're morally clear, where is the best place for a woman such as yourself to live? In Tel Aviv, or in Beirut, Damascus, Amman, or Cairo? Where is
I find it funny that he chose countries that are destroyed by the US, actually, many of these countries, and by terrorism. Why didn't he name companies like, I don't know, the UAE, like Dubai, Abu Dhabi, which are extremely, extremely safe countries, especially for women, very safe, or Qatar, or all these other countries? Why didn't he name those? Why did he choose countries that are like destroyed?
it better for a woman to live in the Middle East?
I've been to many of these locations, and I just want to let you know that that's an unfair question because by us funding Israel, they are bombing Lebanon.
Hold on,
they are
no.
bombing other
We'll get there.
countries.
I just want to know, based on the laws and the customs that
Yes.
Lebanon, Syria, Jordan, the country you're not born in, but that you have ancestry from, Egypt, all have, where is it better for women to live? In those four places or in Tel Aviv?
That is, again, no, that's very hard to say. Again, because
Have any of those four countries ever had a female prime minister?
why would that matter?
Because Israel has.
Yes,
So has Pakistan. Pakistan's probably one of the first countries to have a female prime minister in the area, or female leader in Southeast Asia. So, but first, I want to take a moment to say how proud I am of this channel. It's one of the few platforms on YouTube consistently speaking up for the Palestinian people and highlighting their suffering. I truly believe we're making a difference, changing minds on the Israel-Palestine conflict, because we present both sides of the story and let you, the viewers, decide for yourself. The truth always finds a way. That's why I'm extremely excited to announce a new partnership with Ground News. Ground News is an independent news platform available as a website or an app that brings together coverage from across the globe. What makes it very unique, in my opinion, is that it shows you the political bias and coverage of every story. You can see how many sources are reporting on the topic, where they fall on the political spectrum, and how factual they are. It even tells you whether a story is covered by independent, corporate, or government owned outlets. For example, take the recent story about Mahmoud Khalil's arrest at a pro Palestine protest. Right leaning outlets ran stories like Democrats aren't just America last, they're Hamas first. Whereas left leaning sources framed it as Columbia students' deportation arrest should scare all Americans. Depending on where you get your news, you might see Mahmoud as either a terrorist sympathizer or an Ivy League student with a pregnant wife peacefully protesting for what he believes in. Ground News helps you cut through the noise and understand the bias. Right now, you can get up to 40% off their top tier Vantage plan by using my link, groundnews.com/inam, or by scanning the QR code on your screen. Once again, that's groundnews.com/inam, INAAM, or just scan the QR code to claim your limited time 40% discount.
It's interesting that I'm not saying you're on the left, but campus activists are always about women's rights and women's empowerment. Yet the only country that has actually ever done that in the Middle East is Israel, interestingly enough. But I mean, let me just ask this. Do you think Israel is the good guy in this equation and the other countries are not so good? How would you mark the moral grade here?
I believe Israel is the bad guy. They're using religion as an excuse to take over land. It's a government. Zionism is not Judaism.
So, and then what exactly is Islam doing then?
Well, that's why Islam versus Judaism, that's what the Western media believes is happening, that Jews are fighting Muslims, which is not true. It's a government fighting over another government for land, and they're using religion as an excuse. Why are the IDF soldiers fighting Christian people during Easter? They're not allowing them to go into church.
Actually, that's not true. So let's talk about that. That's a lie. What happened on Easter in Israel?
They were not allowing the...
What was unique about this Easter?
What do you mean what was due to come up? Like, people wanted to worship through
Catholic,
church.
Protestant, and Orthodox Easter all fell on the same day.
Okay,
so therefore, there was a huge surge of Christians to the Holy Church of the Holy Sepulchre, of which, if you're in the Holy Sepulchre, they fight over every square inch of that place. So the IDF came in to actually protect the Church of the Holy Sepulchre and make sure that all these Christians don't start tearing their hair out on the holy day. Just so we're clear.
If the sorry, I don't mean to
No,
interrupt
you are actually believing the Arab press in the Middle East, where no one is being denied access to holy sites. And I do have to wonder, so you're a Christian, you know the area well. Do you feel safe as a Christian? You're a Christian, right?
Yes.
Going to Bethlehem.
Yes. We are Christians.
But do you know who controls Bethlehem?
Who controls
The Arab
them?
Muslims control Bethlehem.
And when have they stopped Christians from going
all the
into
time.
churches?
Oh my goodness, it's incredibly
Everyone
dangerous.
here is arguing about this, but no, you guys are all believing things that you see all over TikTok.
No. It's
a lot of people are like, you say I'm believing Arab media, but a lot of people are believing Western media.
Okay.
Don't you think it's possible for both sides to be lied to?
I mean, I've seen many, numerous stories of people literally attacking Muslims. The idea of literally attacking Muslims during the holy month of Ramadan. And they do this almost every year, I feel like. Is he not going to talk about that?
The Western media is very anti-Israel, for the record.
Oh my God. Okay. I don't think Charlie Kirk is dumb. I'm not sure why he's being so ignorant right now, or at least read up on it a little bit. Did he really just say Western media is anti-Israel? Since when? Maybe the last 6 months, maybe, right? Like, for the life of media, I mean, no, media in general, mainstream media still has been very, very pro-Israel. You never even hear about the Palestinians until recently, and that's mainly, I think, is because of social media. You know, platforms like YouTube allow us to talk about this stuff now, which they never did before. They would just ban you.
Let's do one final thought experiment, and then we could talk about money. If Israel laid down all of its weapons, what would happen?
If Israel laid down all of its weapons. Okay, they are committing a genocide, and wait.
How dare you say? No, I got to put. What is a genocide?
A genocide is when you are taking over a land and killing the people senselessly.
Was October 7th a genocide?
Okay.
Answer the question. When 1,300 Jews were killed in their homes, kibbutzes, and a music festival, was that a genocide?
No, because no.
By your own definition, it is.
No, Charlie. She just said when people are taking over a land and killing people and trying to erase people, that is genocide. And last I checked, the Palestinians have not taken over any land. Israel has. And they're about to take over Gaza. Let's be real here.
Uh, it was a terrorist act. But it was a terrorist act, but this was all planned by the governments. That's what I'm trying to explain to you.
No. You got to tell me, why was October 7th not a genocide, but what Israel is doing is a genocide?
Israel has the Iron Dome. Why? They could have easily protected the festival. They could have easily protected their people, but they let this Hamas, this little...
They let them in.
They let them in on purpose, yes.
Really?
Yes.
So you think the Israeli government allowed Hamas terrorists to come and kill 1,300 innocent civilians, take hostages, and go into kibbutzes?
They needed an excuse to do that to the Palestinians.
What is your evidence of this claim?
Why are they
Evidence, let's see. Like Charlie, you mentioned, Israel is about the size of New Jersey. It's probably the most militarized area that's the size of New Jersey. There's literally military everywhere surrounding it. How do you let a bunch of people with no real weapon, like these guys are cavemen compared to the technology that the IDF has and the intel that the IDF has. How do people like that just cross the border and come through like that? You don't think that's a little bit suspicious at least, or maybe warrants an investigation? Okay, maybe that's a bit going too far. What about the Hannibal Directive, where the IDF literally said, kill Israelis because that limits the amount of hostages the Palestinians can take? Don't be so naive.
They claim to want Hamas. They claim to want.
No. What is your evidence that Israel would butcher 1,300 of its own people? The worst killing of Jews since the Holocaust. What is your evidence of that?
Look, I don't want to sound rude or offensive towards you, but I'm explaining throughout the news why is, again, they have the Iron Dome. They have they have billions of dollars in defense. They have millions of dollars in military, and they have the power to stop. They allowed the Hamas group to go in.
There is no evidence to your claim. They penetrated.
There's no evidence to your claim.
No,
either.
hold on a second. Let's talk about how much you know about this. What was special about October 7th? What was the holy day in Judaism?
Okay.
Just a reminder, make sure you like this video and subscribe to my channel. It really helps out, and also it really helps out get the message out there. When you like and subscribe, this video goes out to a larger audience. Please do your part. Now let's go out and change some minds.
I don't want to misspeak. That's the thing.
It's called Shemat Torah, which is like the third holiest day in Judaism. So like half the country takes off. Think about like Christmas and Easter combined times 2.
My brother just learned this fact like last week. Stop it, Charlie.
What else? What day of the week was it when it happened?
Again.
No, it's very important. What day of the week?
May you answer, please?
What day of the week?
Again.
Saturday. What happens on Saturdays in Israel?
Worship,
it's Shabbat.
yes.
The whole country goes to rest. 95% of the country takes off. So they have a holy day and they have Shabbat. The IDF, yes, they took it easy. And so what your belief is that no, that they weren't necessarily celebrating their holy day and that they were on Shabbat. But the Israeli government allowed terrorists to come and kill their own people?
You're giving too much credit to governments. You think that the government wants to protect its people. They will sacrifice the people for the for the greater good. You're giving way too much power to allowing the government to do it.
No, you have to prove. I want you.
Well, I know that I came here to hear your opinion on how you can defend Israel. I didn't come to argue because I know I don't have the information to tell you right now. I just got out of class. But I do want to hear your opinion, please. I wanted to hear.
It's very simple. Israel's not a perfect country. But for whatever reason, the obsession about where half the world's Jews live, which happens to be a small outpost of freedom and liberty with lots of problems, surrounded by literally 1 billion Muslims, that this is our number one focus geopolitically, that people use the word genocide, and you won't use the word genocide when Jews are killed, but you do use the word genocide when Palestinians are killed.
So, not to minimize the deaths that happened of innocent people on October 7th, that was 1,000 people. Numbers are showing Israel has probably killed 100,000, 200,000, maybe more, half of which are women and children. How can you compare the two, Charlie? That's sad to hear from Charlie. That's very disheartening. I mean, you call yourself a Christian, you care about human life. How do you compare the two? I'm sorry.
Shows the moral confusion on this topic. And would you...
No, Charlie, it shows your moral confusion.
Say what's happening in Armenia right now is a genocide?
Look, you are very good at
Ooh, maybe you should ask the Israelis that one. I don't think they really believe in the Armenian genocide, if I'm not mistaken.
Doing this, but I want to explain to you. Look, I want to explain to you my side. Okay, you still didn't answer my question in the the original question. How can you defend our government sending billions of dollars to a foreign government? Like,
Yes. Okay. So
we
just to be
both
clear,
agreed both should be cut off.
so you believe all foreign aid should be cut
We
off.
should not be involved in other countries. No.
Period. Okay.
Yes.
So you believe in America only.
Yes, I want
Okay.
our country to succeed. We should be
So,
spending the billions on
got it.
Americans.
So I believe we should limit a lot of foreign aid. I don't believe in America only. Was it a good thing that America got involved in World War II?
Wait, what? Sorry.
Was it a good thing that America got
Charlie is excellent at pivoting. To be fair, this lady has asked him a good question. Like, hey, how do you defend giving billions of dollars to a foreign country if, we all are America first? And Charlie's trying to make it into, no, you're America only. I think it was good that we went into World War II. Listen, the United States was a different country back then. Today, we have a huge deficit. We have a lot of people in poverty. We have a lot of people without health care or poor health care. And, our infrastructure needs work. There's no reason we're sending billions of dollars to Israel, especially because it's going to a war. It's not even humanitarian aid. So, Charlie, answer the dang question.
involved in World War II?
I honestly just wanted to hear your opinion because
No,
if I say yes or
it's
no,
an important
gonna...
moral question because you say no foreign aid. Was it good that we got involved in World War II?
Yes. Yes.
Okay, so you're not America only. In
No.
fact, you're okay with America sent
But
sent
see,
aid
you think
to
that
the
the Jews
Allies.
are in trouble when they're not. They're bombing the Zionists, the IDF, so are bombing hospitals. They're bombing the schools. They're not bombing.
Hold on a
Hamas.
second.
Why is Israel the victim here when clearly they destroyed all the Arab countries that fought against them in one of the wars? Literally, they showed their might. Why is Israel still the victim here? Their military is stronger than everyone else combined. And plus, they got US's backing. And their intel is magnificent. Why are they the victim here?
Places.
Again, there's so much wrong here. But where does Hamas actually keep their weapons?
I'm sorry, they're being loud. I can't hear you.
I won't even get into that. So, Israel, if Hamas laid down all of its weapons,
Yes.
what would happen?
If both sides lay or just Hamas.
Let's say just Hamas.
Hamas doesn't have they don't have the weapons that Israel does. So if they don't have Israel, no.
Guys, you're not debating,
angry. Don't be
please.
angry.
Okay.
I'm sorry. What were
It's
we
okay.
saying? I'm not trying to be
I encourage you to
disrespectful
think
towards
deep.
you. I'm just
I'm not. No, you're not. I don't care. You can say whatever you want to me. I don't care. I want you to think deeply about this.
Yes.
Because there is a moral confusion happening in the West when it comes to Israel. No one is saying they're perfect. I'm sick and tired of talking about Israel all the time. I happen to be a Christian that loves Israel and actually cares about the fact that I was able to go to Capernaum where Jesus walked on the water, see where Jesus rose from the dead, to go to Hebron. Let me finish. That I was able to go to the holy sites and to be able to walk the streets of the old city. I actually appreciate
And
that.
thank God, so have I. But I'm explaining to you the
Okay,
difference.
I'm finishing.
I'm sorry.
No, but when Muslims take over countries, Christians are not able to always easily navigate or visit them. That is a fact of life. And the final thing is this, is it Israel's values or is it Hamas's values that are a closer fit to the West? And it's not even close. Israel is a small outpost of civilization in an endless ocean of tyranny. You don't have to love Israel. You don't have to wear the flag. You don't even have to support sending it money. But at the very least, you must at least have the moral clarity and the integrity to say, they're not the enemy here. They're defending themselves, and they have a right to exist and a right to be able to broker this war as a war of self-defense as they choose. Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you for your
Thank
time.
you.